Hi, I'm Drew.
I'm Harley.
I'm Nancy, and we're the Bound in Book podcast. You can expect a fun time, some curse words, and a lot of discussion. Our episodes will both feature guests and be conversations between the three of us.
We do intend to stay spoiler-free for the majority of our shows. Our guest episodes will feature a spoiler section towards the end. We are here to be an author, reader, and industry at large safe space to discuss books, opinions, and feelings. But we are going to keep it positive.
We want listeners to know that we are not here to bash your favorite stories or authors, but may discuss things we didn't like too. And we hope you join our discussion over on social media and enjoy the episode.
It's so weird. I'm like, how do we podcast? I feel like we've been off for so long.
I know. Well, why don't we start with what we're reading?
Oh my God. You're going to be so proud of me. I am reading a fantasy. I'm not reading a hockey romance.
Who is she?
I already have my next winter hockey romance on deck for when I finish this book, though, because I saw there's some Christmas ones out and I really want to read them. But I'm reading Goldfinch by Raven Kennedy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm so stoked. Like, I've not been in a fantasy mood, as you guys know. And I started this one hockey romance and I was like, this is so fucking boring. Like, I'm so bored right now. I was like, I think I should just go back to fantasy. Like, I think the regular world is like boring me. And so I picked up Goldfinch because I knew that I was gonna have a great time because I already loved the rest of the series. And she literally just starts out right in the middle of battle, like no pussyfooting around. Like she's like, here's where we ended. We're jumping right back in. I'm not gonna make you guys wait to figure out what's happening. And I'm so stoked.
I need to go back and reread, I think, probably the third and fourth books. Because I got like 10 pages into Goldfinch and I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Bye. Done. Not reading it.
To be fair, I binge read the whole like 5 or 6 books, however many there are, in August.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say like August or September. So like it was pretty fresh in my brain where there were some things that I was kind of like forgetting, but most of it was still fresh in my brain.
Yeah, I read them like spring of last year, so it's been like a
Oh
year and a
God.
half. Yeah.
You've been to a lot of worlds since
I've
then.
been through a lot of that was like before I picked up all of my most favorite indies. Like I didn't even know Ophelia yet. I didn't know DM yet. I didn't know CC yet. Like I didn't know any of them yet.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it was like really a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah, you should do a reread.
And I am currently reading the Assassin's Blade, if I could speak correctly. But I started listening to that. I put it on hold on Libby like a few weeks ago. A month ago, maybe? I don't remember. And I was like, you know what? Now feels like a good time to start. So I am starting with the Assassin's Blade.
And this is your first read?
And this is my first read, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Wait. Can we please do like a little segment every single time we check back in with each other? Because Nancy, like, I need a play by fucking play.
How far into Assassin's Blade are you?
I finished the second novella, The Assassin and the Healer, and I haven't started the next one yet.
I'm getting emotional.
But I'll text you guys updates while I'm reading, because I have a terrible memory, so I probably won't remember when we come on to record, but
any time of the day. Like I turn on my do not disturb anyway, so I'll catch up. So just you text at any point in time because I want to know how you're feeling and how you're doing.
I am about halfway through the Lost God audiobook.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got an advanced listener copy. And Drew, you said when you were rereading Before the Godless Kingdom that the reread hurts so much more.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's because it's a different medium, it hurts different. Like, and
Oh,
because like you said, you're like catching all of the things that you didn't catch and the nods to other books and all of the foreshadowing that Sheila like very carefully laid out, and it hurts, man.
yeah, she does a great job. I feel like her books are made to be read and reread again and again. Like,
Mhm.
I do wanna listen to the audio. I didn't, what's it called? Request an advanced reader copy this time around because like, I didn't know if I was gonna be in a mood to listen to it, but whenever it's or it is released now, huh? I'm probably just gonna
Mhm.
buy it,
Do it.
because I do
It's
wanna
a
listen to it
delight.
again.
The way that I believe her name is Caitlin. Um the way that she brings Stacey to life. I was talking to Sheila today and I was like, it is like a piece of the story that I didn't know was missing. It's completely a different experience to hear it performed.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's so good.
I think this is, like, the perfect season to do a reread of the Lost God series too, because it's, like, cozy, it can get cozy, and then you have your blanket nearby, so then when you're crying, you can just easily wipe away your tears.
I'm excited to stay back in the world as the audiobooks are released because they're going to be rapid released. So that's going to be
Ooh.
fun. Yeah. Um and I just finished like my physical book I finished Lore of the Wilds, which
Oh, I've heard good things about
okay,
that one.
yeah, it's a blast. And it's not there is romance in it, but you could completely take away the romance arc and it would still be like a complete full story that's
Mhm.
really fun. And it's not the story that I thought that I was being told. And I know what the story I thought I was being told is? Not anymore. I have no idea what I thought the book was, but it wasn't what I thought.
Is it, is it NA or YA?
And it's new adult. There is
Okay.
sexually explicit content in it,
Okay,
and
okay.
it's about adult characters. I actually wondered that until I got to like the scene and I was like, "Oh, that's an adult scene." So,
I know, I've seen, various reviews, and I swear I saw someone call it YA, and then I saw someone else call it NA, and I was like, "So what is it?"
the the sex scene in it is pretty explicit on page. Like you're not even like looking through a curtain, like you're in the room with
Mhm.
them.
Like, it's, like, clearly, like, NA, like,
Oh
this
yeah.
is an adult are the characters younger? Is that why?
They are like
Like, young adult younger,
younger
not, like, under
adults.
18.
They're like I think our female main character is like 19 or 20. Like she's young.
Oh, okay, okay. I think some people just call things YA when there's, like, a teenager or, like, someone, like, in their, like, very early 20s.
Yeah, I agree.
It's
But
like,
it's
no.
definitely written for adults. It's not written for children to read. It's very good though. It's really fun. And
I
not
am
like and not fun in like the way that like The Lost God is fun. It's like fun and like
like, break your heart having a good time, though. Like I'm hurting, but I'm having a good time.
this is more like actual fun, and then when the plot twist comes, it feels like someone just like you got hit by a bus.
Is it a series?
Yeah, I think it's a duology. Book 2 comes
Ooh,
out in the summer in July.
okay, okay.
I didn't realize it was so far away, or I might have waited to read the book. I bought it. I bought it when it released. It's been sitting on my shelf, but I had a great time with it. So
Yeah, I remember that book when it released. I think I put it 'cause I it's like one of those books where the cover art is so good, when someone mentions the title, I'm immediately know what book they're talking about because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that cover art," like, of course I'm gonna
yeah,
remember
I
that
bought it
book.
because I was Vanessa and I like the first time we hung out went into Target, maybe. It might have been a half price, but I think it was Target to go try to find Bride because she was excited about Bride, and I was like, Paranormal Romance, okay, cool. And we saw that, and I was like, that cover is beautiful. So I bought it because of the cover. Didn't even read what it was about. Had no idea.
Well, that's good to know. It's a good one. I might just wait until the second book comes out and then do a little bingey binge.
I think Satisfaction did a version of it, and I'm kind of bummed I missed it. I hope when the second book comes out that they finish the series.
I think Fairy Loot did a version as well.
I'm not a fairy loot girly. Oh my god. Okay, before we get into today's topic, which this is
Oh yeah,
actually very
this was a
topical.
good segue that we definitely planned.
You want to hear the funniest fucking shit about the
Yeah.
Satisfaction box? And this is like shade to myself only because I'm fucking stupid. I did not know. I did not know until I heard Jenny out loud say the name of the box that it was Satisfaction. I thought it was Satisfaction. And I was like, it comes with self-care products. Okay, that makes sense. No, I'm just stupid. I'm just stupid.
That's really
No,
funny.
just an idiot.
That's okay. That's okay. It's one letter.
I have to tell you though, when I realized it, I was driving. I had to pull over because I was laughing so hard.
Wow, that's really safe of you.
Okay, I might have stopped in the middle of the road, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I was on my street.
Oh
I
my
was
god.
on my street where
Okay.
I live.
Okay,
It
okay.
wasn't,
So
like, on the
residential.
yeah.
That's fine. That's fine, I guess.
No one died, it's fine.
That's hilarious. Oh, that's right, and you live in Texas. I feel like your streets are probably, like your home streets are probably, like, not super populated.
Mine is I do live in a pretty small town. There are not,
Oh.
like, 10,000 people here.
I don't know why I imagined you living, like, on a farm where, like no, you used to live on a farm, that's why.
I did. I just
That's
give
why I
the
still
those are
imagine
the
you there.
vibes. Drew, you didn't even know me when I lived there.
Well, I know, but it's like that's no, like you said, like, those are the vibes, like, that's the vibe you give off is, like, she lives on a farm, she takes care of the cows in the morning. She feeds the chickens.
I did when we had chickens.
I bet you were so cute doing it too with your little boots on.
I was. I actually okay. We were talking about boots the other day, and I told Josiah that I needed new boots, and we were at a boot store. And I was looking at boots, and then I was like, "Ooh, look at these. They'd be so cute." And then Josiah's like, "Those are cute." He's like, "But those are working boots." I was like, "Yeah, for all of the ranch work that I'm doing." And he just like stares at me until I start laughing.
That's too funny. Manifesting. Don't you want like, I feel like you said that you've wanted to, like, have farm animals again, right?
Oh yeah, we want to get some acreage and have some at least chickens. We liked having chickens. I would like to have some beef cows.
Some beef cows. I guess because then the other
Yeah.
ones are, like, milk cows, huh?
Well, yeah, but
No?
like ones that we're raising like just for our family.
Mhm.
Because I gotta say, a home like raised beef that like you put your blood, sweat, and tears into, and then you take to the butcher, it tastes different. That's a little
Well,
morbid for the show. Sorry.
I'm coming to your house then when your cow makes it to the butcher.
I actually just came home from my best friend's house down here, and they had a bottle calf. The year before last, I think. Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago, and they finally got all the meat back from the butcher because it's a year and a half, and then they're processed for food. And I made spaghetti this evening with some of that meat. It was so good. It was delicious.
I have a lot of questions. I'm gonna save them, for a side conversation another time. Okay, to swing this train back around from the farm, we're coming back around from the farm. We're gonna talk all things book box today. So I guess we can start off by saying all the book boxes we're subscribed to. Do you guys want me to go first?
Sure.
I have a list on my phone because it's become a problem.
Okay.
So, okay, I'm subbed to Illumicrate, Butterfly Book Butterfly Book Club, the Arcane Society, Moonlight Book Box, Bookish and Spice, Dark and Quirky, and Fairy Loot. And I will be canceling some of these soon because I can't sustain this lifestyle.
I'm subscribed to. Okay, well, I'm not technically subscribed, but I buy most of their books. Aurora Crate. They're
Okay.
You can choose though. They're not a subscription, but I buy all their shit. And same with Book Cove out of South Africa. But ones that I'm actually subscribed to is Butterfly Book Club, and I almost didn't say it because it's got the word in it. One of the Discord servers that we're in, you can't say the word butter because the author doesn't like it. So I always say bee fly when I'm talking about it. I'm subscribed to Moonlight and Satisfaction. Those are the three. Oh, and Dark and Quirky, I guess. Technically.
Yeah, that one doesn't count because it's like, what,
It's
every 3
quarter
years or something?
Yeah, it's quarterly, and I subscribe specifically to get the fall box of this year because Penn Cole's books are going to be in it, and I want them.
I'm currently not subscribed to any, though I was subscribed to Moonlight for a couple months just to get their edition of Threaded, but I'm not currently subscribed to them.
I've got, rumor has it, I've got other friends in the pipeline for Moonlight, so I'm keeping that.
Moonlight has some good ones coming out, I think.
Yeah, didn't they announce Blood and Steel coming up?
Yeah, it was this month.
It was this month? Okay. Hopefully they have some overstock, because that's one I would like. But
They typically do. I don't think there's been a month yet that they haven't. So, hopefully. Okay, so in the boxes that we're subscribed to, or the ones that we were subscribed to, what are some things that we like and don't like? Or like what is something that when you see a box, because like, yeah, you're scrolling through the gram and you're like, oh, this looks like it's a really cool box, and you go and subscribe to it. Like, what's something that draws you to it?
For me, I really like the little knickknacks, so, like, I don't think I'll ever cancel my Illumicrate subscription because they just have the cutest knickknacks, and just the most, and they also have unlimited skips, which is something I appreciate. Um, like, quite a few of the book boxes I'm subscribed to have unlimited skips, so that's kinda why I keep them. I'm just like, "Well, I can't afford it this month, I'll just skip, whatever." Um, so I like the little knickknacks. I definitely like to subscribe to book boxes that do indie books,
mm.
because especially with, like, traditionally published books, like, special editions are almost like a dime a dozen. Like, how many editions of Fourth Wing are there? Like, 500,000. But indie books don't get as many special editions, so I really try to prioritize my subs that do indie books only. Um, and what I don't like, I really hate when they limit the amount of skips. So, like, I'm probably gonna cancel Fairy Loot because there's only 3 skips and their books have not been hitting for me, and I kinda just got it to get on the bandwagon, and I don't really care about being on the bandwagon anymore.
I would say I agree about, like, boxes that focus on indie books, especially because those are most of what I read. For me, like, having special editions is matters more to me about having, like, special editions of books that I've already read and that I love, like Threaded or Long Live. Those are the two that I have. But those are books that I love that I want to have, like, special editions of on my shelves. I personally probably wouldn't read the actual special editions if it's a book I haven't read yet, just because it's like really fancy edition. I don't want to damage it. So I also agree with, like, the ones with like unlimited skips. I like that. Or like Aurora Crate is, where you just order the book that you want. Like if it's a month that you want the book, you just buy that book. It's not a subscription. I like how they do that.
I do too.
Yeah. And to kind of bounce off of what you said, Drew, about the trinkets, I like the idea of having trinkets in a book box, but I've seen so many unboxings where it's just random trinkets that don't match the box. And that seems a little bit silly to me. Like, if you do trinkets themed around the book that's in the box, that would make more sense to me, and I'd really like that idea.
I think, like, Butterfly Book Box definitely does, like, what you're talking about, where
Yeah.
I think it's just usually one item, like, they
Mhm.
always include one extra item, and it's always on theme with whatever the book is, so that's why I like that sub so much. Illumicrate is, like, one of the ones you're talking about where it's, like, kinda random, like, I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
Illumicrate and Fairy Loot do the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I'm not sub to the Fairy Loot, everything box, I just have the adult one, so I don't know what they normally include in their boxes. I kinda like Illumicrates though, just 'cause I like stupid shit. And for the price, I'm like, "Whatever, send it to me."
Yeah.
And honestly, I've sold so many random trinkets on Pango for, like, $10, and I feel like that's that's pretty good considering, how much I pay for the box itself.
So I love when boxes have skips. Do I take advantage of them? Rarely. I
Relatable.
will forget I will forget to skip, and then I'll wind up with just like a book that I've never even heard of, but it's pretty. So it. I've actually gotten a bunch of new books that I'm very excited to read, which brings me to Drew. Do you read your special editions that you get?
Yeah, because I am a gremlin. I try really hard to, like, I do try to take care of them, like, you know that I will snap a paperback in half any day of the
For
week.
sure. Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I definitely abuse my paperbacks, but if it is a special edition, I do try to take care of it when I'm reading it, but yeah, of course, like, I am gonna read it because I like to look at it, like, it's just nice to hold and to look at, and, um, I have one sitting on my bedside that, like, I just have not finished, but she's just there.
What do you have?
Ah, crap. It's an Illumicrate book. Let me go grab it.
Oh, you could have just said never
Actually,
mind.
no, I have 2. Oh my god, I have 2 that, like, I was in the midst of reading, and then the slump hit me hard.
I don't there's not a ton of things that the boxes do that I don't like. I don't love when boxes will do like the very next month a book that another box just did.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
for example, and this is like no shade to these boxes. I'm buying both versions of the book, just so we're clear. Like I've already spent my money buying both versions, but um Butterfly Book Club did like September they did The Curse of Ophelia, and then Book Cove in October did The Curse of Ophelia. And Book Cove isn't a subscription, it's just like a you buy whatever month to month you want. But I was like, oh, it would have been nice if those were spaced out, just like maybe by another month or two. Um, I'm gonna buy them because my friend wrote that book, and I'm excited to support her, and I want to support my friends that are busting their asses to be authors. But it would have been nice to have just like a little more time between.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like, especially like with the boxes like Fairy Loot that do like the mainstream books too. Like, everyone did Fourth Wing in it was like June or July. Like, everyone was doing the same thing. And it's like, okay, can we get something different?
You gotta I get it. I agree with you, but
I
like also
do
I
get
get
it.
it because they're
Yeah.
trying to, strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. I definitely get like why they did it, but it's also like, okay, it's a little bit much. Like, we get it, the book's popular. But Yeah.
I think okay, one other thing that I think a lot of people, myself included, do not realize about book boxes sometimes is that there are some book boxes that are behind schedule. Like, they are promoting these books, but they are still shipping out books from, like, May.
Mm.
Um, should I name them?
Okay, well, actually, I have a question. I mean, yes, I think you should, but I have a question. So, is this book boxes that are saying like, for example, when Aurora Crate did Long Live, when you went to go order, it said this book will ship in, like, we ordered it in April. This book is expected to ship between July and August. And then
No,
when
it's
August
not like
came,
that. Oh,
okay,
sorry, go no, no, oh, you're gonna wait, no, keep going, maybe I'm wrong.
I was like, and then when August came, I got my version of Long Live. By the way, it's beautiful. I love it. If there's anyone who needs to go, if you don't own it, go buy it, like right now.
Mhm.
I think they still have them for sale, but is it like that, or is it like August will come and they're just like, haha, just kidding, we're a few months behind, still getting, the book from February shipped?
Um, so no, it's not like that where I feel like Aurora Crate and, Book Cove, you order it ahead of time and they're very explicit. They're like, "We're gonna
Yeah.
ship it out at this later date. Don't expect it right now." I believe Dark and Quirky is similar where you pay for it ahead of time, but they let you know, like, "We're gonna ship it out later."
Yeah.
Um, Arcane Society is similar where it's like they're very upfront, like and usually it's like the book boxes that are, bi-monthly or, like, every 3 months or something. I feel like they have, like, a good system, like, they let people know, like, this isn't going out the minute you pay for it. I'm talking about, like, Fabled Co. and, like, Bookish Box, where you get off the subscription list, you pay for your book, and then, like, you check your like, they do usually have a page where it's like, "This is where we are in the shipping process," and then you check and it's like, "Oh, they're still shipping out books from, like, February," and we're, like, in June. So I'm
Mhm.
probably not gonna get my June book until, like, September, October. Um, and I feel like I don't know, I could just be also missing some of the content they're posting on their Instagrams. Maybe if I was, like, more up to date, I would have known this ahead of time, but I think that is just something people that are new to book boxes don't realize is, like, sometimes book boxes are behind schedule for one reason or another, and it is a little frustrating, especially if you've never subbed to one before, because 'cause you're like, "Oh, shit, I thought I was gonna get this book, but I actually have to wait like, 4 or 5 months because they're kinda behind," and
Mm.
I think their goal is to get up to date, like, I'm sure that that is their goal, and I'm sure at some point it will happen, like, maybe they just got an influx of people that wanted their book and, like, they overextended themselves a little bit, but it definitely is off-putting, especially if you're someone that you don't have a ton of disposable income and you're, like, sending your money away and you're like, "Where's the thing that
Yeah.
I just bought? It's kinda weird that it's not here," like, you just kinda have to trust. And luckily for me, I mean, the trust has worked out, like, I've gotten everything I've paid for, just took a little while, but those are the boxes that, like, I don't subscribe to because it's just, like, I'm not patient enough, I really hate having to, like, track a package because 'cause I'm just worried, I'm like, "I really hope my money didn't just disappear, like, I want this thing," so,
Mm.
I personally, if I, like, know that they're just behind, I won't subscribe to those boxes.
I wasn't sure how it works because I've never been subscribed to those boxes. I was actually, I remember being like bummed when that happened with Aurora Crate, but like that was the very first special edition I ever ordered, and I was like, I mean, I'm gonna get the book. Like no matter what, I'm gonna get the book because again, my friend wrote that I'm gonna be supportive. But
Mhm.
I was bummed. But then, sure enough, August came around and I got it right after my birthday. So that was like a nice little birthday gift to myself. But I did appreciate them certainly being like upfront about it, like, hey, before you pay for this, it's not coming until later this year.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, they were really transparent about it, and it was like, this is a pre-order. Like, this is our April book, but you're pre-ordering it. It'll ship in, like, in August or whatever it was. And, like, they were really transparent about it. And I believe Aurora Crate's a fairly new book box. At least at the time that they did long live, they were fairly new.
Yeah, that was their second book.
Yeah. So it's
Oh, wow.
like it makes sense there as well that it it took some time to get it out because they just started. um but like some of the ones that are a little infamous for being just way behind, like they're not transparent about it, and they're, at least the ones I'm familiar with having issues with that, are like well established book boxes as well, and it's a consistent problem that hasn't been fixed.
I think what annoys me about those book boxes too is, like, they keep promoting the book for that month. So, like, it's like they're just digging themselves into a well. I'm like, "You guys need to." I don't know what's happening over there. I'm not even gonna pretend to know anything about the supply chain of creating special editions and shipping them out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but for me, it's just like, "Okay, I'm not gonna subscribe to this." Like, it weirds freaks me out. I don't like having to wait for something for that long if it's not a pre-order. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna get it. Like, I just hope I'm gonna get it at some point. Um,
Yeah.
and that's annoying. But I do wanna say too, I definitely think there's a difference between, like, that situation where they're just super behind, like, they're months behind,
Mm-hmm.
versus, like, Butterfly Book Box did this recently where a shipment of their books just didn't turn out to be the quality they wanted it to be, so they sent
Yeah.
out an email and they were like, "We are delaying this month by a little bit. We need to send the books back, and, like, we're getting them redone. Like, it just didn't turn out how we thought it would, and we wanna give you guys, like, quality books." And so that was a little late, and I feel like that's totally different and understandable, and usually, even in that case, it's like they're not that late. They're maybe, like, a couple weeks later than they would normally be, maybe, like, a month because it's coming from the UK, um, but that's different and,
Yeah.
like, very understandable.
And
So I
that's like
really
kind of the opposite. Like they're making sure they're giving you the quality that you paid for as well. It's like,
Mhm, mhm.
okay, we could just cut corners and get this book to you on time, or we can, order a new shipment and get you the quality book that you paid for, which I I'd say majority of book collectors would rather wait a little bit longer, knowing they're waiting a little bit longer for the book to, um, be fully intact or whatever.
For
Um,
Totally.
me, it's definitely like the transparency. So
hmm
both of the two subscriptions that I've had for a while, so Moonlight and Butterfly, if there's like an issue or they're like just getting stuff shipped out a little bit later, something like that, they're pretty proactive in like letting you know. So like this month, it was Blood and Steel's the book, but one of their shipping containers full of books got damaged in transit. So they, as a result of that, they have to delay shipping them to us. But they sent an email and like just said that. They're like, "Hey, here's what happened. Here's when we expect to have them out to you. But we just wanted to keep you in the loop and let you know it's going to be a little bit longer." That's great. I love
Oh.
that. I really appreciate that type of transparency because I wasn't sitting here with my thumb up my ass wondering where my book's at.
No, exactly, exactly. I think that's another big thing is, like, the customer service aspect, and, like, there are definitely some book boxes that have bad reputations for having, like, shitty customer service, um, and then there are other book boxes, like honestly, like, Butterfly is probably one of my favorite book boxes, even though they don't have unlimited skips and, like, the shipping is a pain in my ass, um, I will probably stick with them for a while. I know that they're working on the unlimited skips thing. They mentioned that on in their Instagram, but when I moved, I emailed them and they were so quick to reply back. They were like, "We changed your address. I know you have a box coming in soon. We made sure that the address is changed for that so it doesn't get shipped to your old address." And I, like, didn't have to freak out at all. I was
Mm.
like, "Thank you so much." Like, that just made my life 10 times easier. And I do appreciate,
Yeah.
just they care about the people that are subscribing to their books.
I have had really good customer service experiences with both those two, with Satisfaction and with Dark and Quirky. And I think Dark and Quirky is one of the bigger book boxes, or they're like somewhere like right in the middle. But there was an issue with my email address. And so I
Oh.
didn't get my invite. And so I reached back out and I was like, hey, I know I was this number on the list. Is there any way to like that I can still get an invite? And they're like, oh, we can see that like you emailed in to update your email address, blah, blah, blah. And they were able to like pull up all of the requests that I had to like fix my email and like make sure it went to the right email. And so they were able to like extend me an invitation, which they could have just been like, nah, dog, too bad, so sad. But
Mhm.
but they went out of their way to make sure that I had a good customer service experience. And that's um it's really nice when that happens.
I'm pretty sure something similar happened to me with Moonlight. Like, you got into the book box email, went to my spam folder, and I was just checking through there because I was like, "Oh god," like, I'm expecting something else, and, like, so I was checking through the spam, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, it's right there," and it was literally the day before, like, I just missed it, and I emailed them, and I was like, "Oh my god," like, "I'm, like, so stupid," like, it went to my spam, and I didn't think to check my spam, and I was like, "Is there, like what should I do? Like, should I just get back on, the wait list again? Like, what do you suggest?" And they were like, "Okay, like, they just let me know what to do so that their emails come through and that don't get sent to spam." And then they were also like, "We'll put you into the next round we have, so that you can, since you missed your chance last time and it wasn't your fault." And I was like, "Oh my god, thank you so much." They were really friendly and, um, it's nice. It's definitely nice when you have real people trying to
Yeah.
help you with whatever your problem is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and like from a business perspective, it makes the most sense to have like good customer service. Customer service in general can make or break someone's experience with any company.
Mhm.
And so it's like, having that experience, you're more likely to go and recommend this book box to other people because you had a good experience with them in the past. And if it were like, they didn't help you with your problem and they're like, oh yeah, sorry, you know can't do anything about it, or like really rude or whatever, you're probably going to go tell people not to subscribe to their box. So it's like, you know it definitely like affects them as well, just doing their jobs well.
Yeah, I agree. Um, is there, to start getting a little bit wrapped up, is there any upcoming months for boxes that we're excited for that have been like publicly revealed?
You already mentioned pens at the end of the year for Dark and Quirky.
Hmm.
Those look amazing. I'm really excited.
And
I think I think is it subs only? Like they gave a
yeah,
little sneak peek on their website.
yes, but Lit Haven on November 30th. So this comes out in 2 days from when we're recording it. So on November 30th, Lit Haven, which is an open pre-order book box, will have, I think, Spark and Glow
Oh.
in a pre-order. Yeah. And then Autumn, shoot, do you either of you know Autumn's handle? It's like Autumn
I
No.
don't
Read
remember it off the
something.
top of my head, but I can look.
Okay. Nancy's gonna look while I tell you about what Autumn predicted. Um, Autumn predicted that Moonlight, I think, will have Spark early next year as a bonus, like add-on book.
Oh.
Like their
Cool.
their non-subscription book.
Also, I did find it.
What's her handle?
The Autumn Book Reads.
Okay, if you're a book box girly or you want to be a book box girly or guy, I don't know your gender.
Kyle.
Yeah,
We're
Kyle.
we're looking at you, Kyle.
She is the place to be because as soon as boxes post their hints, she is posting guesses, and I would say probably about like 95% of the time she's right.
Yeah, I don't know
Um,
how she gets so right.
I don't know. So we speculated on I don't know who we is, but we in Discord and a couple different speculated on it a few times, and don't think she has insider knowledge. I think she just reads a lot of books, so she's got a good thumb on what's coming and when, because she gets it right for like 20 boxes, not just
No,
like
that makes sense.
she's not just
Yeah.
like the Moonlight book girly, like she is getting it for every box that she's getting, like
Mhm.
the rare exception. I think M is M in Butterfly or Moonlight?
It's Butterfly.
Okay. Yeah, The Dagger and the Forbidden Air is next month. Butterfly box pick. I'm really excited for that. It's going to be so pretty.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one too.
And then
Oh, and then Helen's gonna be Moonlight's gonna have Helen's book. I don't know when, but I just remember seeing that.
that's this month, babe.
That is this month?
Yeah.
There one that's completing the rest of the Legends of Thesmar series too.
I don't
That's
think that's been announced, but I would not be
Oh, okay.
surprised. I wouldn't
I
be
thought it
surprised if they
was.
no,
do.
no, Bookish and Spice finished the
That's what it
series.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, and that one
That
is
already
out for
that's out.
pre-order already,
Okay.
yeah, because I did pre-order them.
Okay, Status Fiction has in January, it's an Ali Shanti book. I think that's how you say her name.
Ooh.
I haven't read any of her books yet. However, the cover art for this book is like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. So I'm really excited for that. I mean, I'm excited to read the book too. Like, make no mistake, I'm not just excited about the artwork, but it's so pretty.
I don't think there are any more that I can think of off the top of my head.
Because I can never I'm so bad at recalling off the top of my head, but I know we've been told. Um, let me. I think that is actually the rest of the ones that I was really excited about because the Ali Shanti book is called Living Legend, I think. Um, Moonlight actually just announced that they're doing a Hunt So Wild and excited.
I saw that. I haven't read that book yet, but I've been wanting to for, like, a long time now.
So I haven't either, but when the author did her cover reveal, like way back when she was releasing it, um, I signed up to help do the cover review, but then I wound up not applying for an ARC because I'm like not necessarily, or that wasn't at the time really like a wild, really, but I was like excited a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, so I got a bunch of art sent and stickers sent to me as a thank you from the author, but I haven't read
Aw.
it yet. So I'm really excited to get it and to have it from Moonlight because it's beautiful. They revealed the cover and everything.
Ooh, it's a retelling of The Christmas Carol. This would be good for Christmas time.
I couldn't tell you a single thing about A Christmas Carol.
It's the one with the ghosts, with the Christmas present, Christmas past, Christmas future.
Okay, so I do actually know that, and there's a Disney version with
Yeah.
Scrooge McDuck, but I don't.
Yep,
I
yep,
literally
yep,
don't
yep.
know anything else.
Scrooge McDuck!
I can't tell you anything about the actual story.
That's okay. I feel like it's probably pretty loose.
You know what? I'll
Ooh.
find out when I read this book.
I was gonna say, I really wanna read this book now, like, I'm trying to, like, get in the season. Before we move away from book boxes, I do just wanna say, I feel like there's definitely a culture around, like, consumption with special
Mhm.
editions and book boxes, and it's really easy to get caught up in it and feel sad and shitty when you can't get certain book boxes or you can't, like, afford it or whatever, and as someone with far too many special editions that they do not need, don't fall for it if you don't have to.
Mhm.
It's just, like, It's just like the dollar section at Target. It's like all these shiny, cute things in front of your face, and, like, you could probably find the book you want secondhand on, like, Pango or Mercari, and
Yeah.
it might be a little bit more, but I've spent so much on special editions that I'm not sure if I'm even gonna read, and sometimes I'm just like, "Ugh, I shoulda just tried to find the singular book I wanted, like, for resale instead of, like, subscribing to this, um, box and getting all these other ones that I don't really care about."
I think that's like the biggest thing about like all the special editions. Like I love especially them mostly being subscription based is
Mhm.
it becomes just such a consumerist thing, and also Bookstagram kind of amplifies it, so it's like you mentioned with Fairy Loot, like it's cool to be subscribed to Fairy Loot and it's a bandwagon thing and like everyone has it. So it's
And you
like,
get, like, FOMO if you don't have
yeah,
it, yeah.
that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
No, we got you.
But yeah, you get FOMO if you don't have the fancy editions. That kind of happened with me with Fourth Wing, like getting the first edition of it. I was like, oh my gosh, they're almost gone. I better go find it because
Mhm.
and like with that, it was one that I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna enjoy this, so I do really want the first edition because it also looks cool. But like it's still like that's still a really good example of the FOMO. Like social media just amplifies that. It's like it's okay if you don't have all the fancy special editions. That doesn't make you any less of a reader or any less of a bookstagrammer if you don't have all the book box subscriptions. Like if you don't want them or you can't afford them or whatever, like that's fine too.
Yeah, like, you go borrow your books at the library, you don't need to own every single book you read.
Yeah.
It's okay, 'cause
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And this is like the conversation we're having, like, isn't meant to make anyone who doesn't have special editions or can't afford special editions or anything like that feel left out. It's just something that we happen to enjoy talking about because it's fun and the art is pretty, and
Yeah.
it's, I think, probably more than anything, more the most fun to be able to support our author friends in that way.
Mhm.
But it doesn't make you any less of like a good street team member, a good fan of an author or anything like that if you
Mhm.
can't or don't want to have subscriptions to book boxes.
I'm gonna say one thing, and then I'm gonna let you guys do author corner because I do have to go. Um, my one last thing is that people need to stop getting so butthurt at authors if they can't afford something, like, it's
Mhm.
not their fault, it's not their fucking fault.
Yeah.
Artists should be paid what they deserve for the art they create,
Mhm.
and not everyone can afford everything, that's just how life goes, like, don't fucking shit on an author just because they made something nice, and
Yeah.
they want their artist to be paid, like, it's
Don't
not
shit
that
on an
deep.
author at
Yeah.
all.
Don't shit on an author, period, that's been happening way too much.
Yeah, especially don't shit on them on their own social media. That's a different
Yep.
soapbox, but
We'll get on that soapbox another day.
another, maybe
Yeah.
that'll be our next episode.
Okay, I'm gonna go, bye, guys.
Hey, bye, Drew. Nancy, do you want to introduce our author for Author Corner?
Can do that. So this week's author corner is Lex Logan. Lex is a queer and probably neurospicy author living in Queensland, Australia with her husband and 2 children. While she's currently working on a sweet and spicy monster romance series of interconnected standalones, she also has a lot of works in progress in her back pocket. In the future, you may see a dark romantic fantasy series and a dark mafia romance series from her. When she's not imagining up more stories than she can physically write, she's working in her online indie romance bookstore, Tales and Tomes, or rotting in bed with a book. And Lex just released her first book last week called Seducing Scylla. Um, and I was on her ARC team for that book, and I loved it. It was It's like 250 pages. I want to say it's really quick read, monster romance. So I had a lot of fun with that. You want me to dive into the blurb of that real quick?
Yeah, please.
Awesome. So, when Morgan's helpfulness sees her kidnapped and thrown in the back of a van, the last thing she expects is to end up marooned on a sentient and not so mythical island. Even less so when she finds herself face to face with a tantalizing sea monster who claims they're fated mates. Morgan is faced with figuring out how she's going to get home, and more importantly, does she even want to? Seducing Scylla is a story about second chances, finding love where you least expect it, and new beginnings. Join Morgan and Scylla as they navigate language barriers, meddling fates, and a burning hot desire that neither of them seems able to control.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and like for the monster romance girlies, it's a great read. Also, especially for like the mythology girlies, it's based in Greek mythology. Um, like having those two overlaps there, I love that. Like I love mythology in general. So it was a really fun read. I read it in like the span of 24 hours, which I've been in like a year-long slump. So
Yeah, that's really
even
fast.
though it's a short book, like that's saying a lot for me. I think I was working both. Like I started it at work and finished it the next day at work, so it was like about 24 hours. But I was working both days that I was reading it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That sounds
And then I will link all of her social medias in the show notes, but you can find Lex at Lex Logan Author on Instagram. And I'll also link her website in the show notes as well. And she does have a readers Discord server as well. So I will throw that in there too.
perfect. And then the very last thing I actually wanted to wish friend of the podcast, Nicole Plantania, a happy belated release day. As of when we're recording this, her fourth book in the series, fifth book overall, The Myths of Ophelia, is released. And when this comes out, it will be yesterday when the book is released. If you're not familiar with Nicole's books, she was our August guest, so you can go back and listen to that episode. But if you're interested in like a gender bent Hercules, you like Throne of Glass, you like Lady of Darkness, then this is a series you're going to want to check out. And if you've read all of her books, you've heard the episode, go grab The Myths of Ophelia. It'll be available by the time this, you can find it anywhere you would get your books.
I need to get back to reading The Curse of Ophelia. I keep jumping around on books. I'm reading like 7 books according to Goodreads.
That's so many.
It is so many.
I've got like a couple of not work, a couple of pieces of art that I need to finish tonight. And I'm going to listen to a couple more chapters of The Lost God while I finish it.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I'm both not like scrolling Instagram very often, but also Instagram doesn't give me like I never see Sheila's posts. So I don't know if it was like a public sign up for advanced listeners for that, or if it was just like in her street team that she had the sign up, but I didn't see it if she posted it on Instagram, and I'm kind of sad about it.
It is just she only shared in Discord for her.
Okay.
But
That makes me feel less sad about it.
It was on NetGalley, so you could request an advanced listener copy. And
Okay.
I believe advanced listener copies of The Memory Curse should be coming soon. So
Awesome. Please let me know. I will do my best to get the first one down. I don't have Audible because I just I listen when I'm listening to audiobooks, I listen to way too many for their subscription style to make sense for me.
You do it through Spotify, right?
Spotify and Libby, I'd mostly I go through Libby first, but if my library doesn't have it, I'll check Spotify. Which also isn't a great basis for the subscription. I just already pay for Spotify, so may as well use that.
I don't know if the ebook is available anywhere other than Audible. I know, or not the ebook, sorry, the audiobook. I know it is available on Audible, but knowing Sheila, if she has any through Libby, because she's a flipper library. She loves like.
I just found her post about it. She said, yeah, it says all your favorite audiobook platforms.
Well, there you go.
I
And
will
maybe it'll
check
be on
that.
Spotify.
Yeah, I'll check that, and I'm also gonna if it's available on all platforms, I'll request my library to buy it for Libby. They bought the physical book, so
I never heard back from my library, and I need to go in and request it at the library. Where I requested at the library where I live because I could do it online. I can't do it online for my library where I live now, so I gotta go in.
Just saw it. Where'd it go? I just saw the cover and it disappeared.
I'll see if I can hunt it down for you, and I'll send it to you if I can find it. Then have a wonderful rest of your night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, guys. Follow us on Instagram at Bound and Booked Podcast. My personal Instagram is at Undercover Faye.
You can find me over at HJK Reads. That's my initials. It's a fun time over there.
And you can find me at Nancy Reads and Writes on Instagram as well.
Thanks for reading with us, motherfuckers. Bye.
Bye.
I am